Welcome back. You are watching and listening to Breakfast with Anne and Ellie. I'm sitting in for Stephen. He's still on his honeymoon, and we are live across the UK on both your TV and your radio, and we're online. You can't get rid of us, and do keep in touch. We love hearing from you. GBNEWS at gbnews.uk. But first, we're going to take a look at today's front pages. The Guardian, it covers the changing of the ministerial code. It's accusing the PM of trying to save his own skin.
And The Times leads on the Attorney General's call for a firm line on transgender ideology in schools.
The Daily Mail covers the Queen's plans to meet her great-granddaughter Lilibet on a special Windsor visit.
And The Telegraph covers the ongoing crisis in Ukraine, reporting on a British MP's son who is fighting on the front lines. It makes a jolly good read. I recommend it.
The Mirror leads on the Queen's Platinum Jubilee as the country gets ready to celebrate next week.
Do we normally have music when we do that?
Yeah, I feel like we do.
Yeah, something was missing, I think, there. Anyway,
just our dulcet tones.
time to go through the papers now, and joining us this morning, broadcaster Pete Price and former Conservative advisor Claire Pearsall. Before we actually get going on the papers, I want to ask you both.
Yes.
Have you ever been to a beach hut, enjoyed a beach hut, or owned one?
None of those items. However, I have seen them. My friend and I take our children off to Broadstairs quite frequently, and you see them, and they do look pretty amazing.
Yeah,
I have
they
to
are
admit,
fab.
I would love to have
A beach hut, if you could get your hands on one, Pete, is
Worth
a
a
better
thought.
investment than a three-bedroomed house.
Nearest I've got to a beach hut was staying in Butlins.
Oh, yes. Well, they were a bit like beach huts in the very early days. We've had, beach huts are going mad here on GBNEWS.
Yeah, people are loving it. Elliot's been in touch on Twitter. He has sent a lovely picture. I'll see if I can get that up for you in the next
Where is that?
few minutes. Lime Regis in Dorset.
Oh, there you go.
Lovely pastel colours.
Dorset, very big on beach huts.
Pink, blue and green beach huts. Looks lovely.
They seem to be bigger down south and up north.
Well, I don't know, because, I don't know. Marion in Ross-on-Wye, beautiful part of the world, Ross-on-Wye in itself. Morning both spent many holidays in my aunt's chalet, we called it, on Mersey, as we called them then. Broke the rules and stayed overnight too. Ooh. Remember one August bank holiday many, many years ago when my whole family, and there were lots of them, came for the weekend. The women and girls slept in the beach hut and the men and boys in my aunt's caravan. Happy days. See, that's what holidaying was all about.
So they were breaking the rules. They were having an overnight stay. Deborah says, and this is interesting, because we were saying we think they might have gone up in price because they're in demand because they don't build anymore.
Yeah.
But Deborah says, hi Anne, they're actually building more beach huts where I live, in Goulston, in Great Yarmouth, Norfolk, and they are really popular.
Well, there you go. That's the place to go if they're building more beach huts. I wonder how much they're going to sell them for. Lindy tells us, in the summer of 2021, I was in Dorset, Hengistbury Head. I know it well. Lovely. The beach there at Mudderford Spit. I know Mudderford Spit well too. That has beach huts facing the sea and also the harbour. The prices started at 300 grand and went up to 400 grand plus.
Wow.
The council there were actually building more for sale, a moneymaker for them. They also charged £4,000 a year for ground rent and toilet and shower facilities.
That is ridiculous.
I mean, really? 300 and 400 grand?
It's more than the
I have
price
to
of a
say,
house.
if any of my family are watching, could you please check that out? Because they live on the south coast, and beach huts are just such a big deal there. Rob from Folkestone says you can sit in one at Folkestone and look out for the small boats bringing in the migrants. All right. Okay, don't politicise. Beach huts, please. Shall we move on to the papers?
Yes, let's have a look. What are we doing?
What are we doing?
We're doing-
Yeah, let's start with the Texas shooting story, Pete, because it really has been absolutely horrific, and we're getting
And it
more
gets
detail
worse
out
and worse.
every day.
There's two stories that have incensed me beyond words. One is the advert. That's the advert which you talked about before.
Yes.
How can anybody...
That's the company that actually manufactures the guns use a child,
Boy
the
holding
image
a
of a little
rifle.
boy holding a gun in their advertising.
And I believe that's the rifle that actually killed... that was used to kill
it's
the
the make
children.
of rifle that was actually used.
I cannot understand America. I'll never understand America over guns. And then in the Mirror, they've got the mother I think this is just total exploitation. The mother of the Texas school shooters there, forgive him. He's killed 19 children. He said, I have no words. I don't know what he was thinking. He wanted to be near children. Please forgive me and forgive my son. I mean, how can anybody interview a mother, you know, who has just had a son who has done that? She has got to somehow live also in America.
But frankly, the police should be protecting her as well.
Well, absolutely. I mean, what's she supposed to say when reporters are, you know, I mean, what's she supposed to say? She's got to try and process what's happened. I think it's incensed by that story. I think it's just too
And it gets worse and worse because we had the news yesterday of the husband of one of the teachers who was killed, had a heart attack and died. Has left 4 children without either parents.
And the only sort of bright part of the horizon for them is that the fundraiser last night had hit £1.6 million for those 4 children, which is, you know, testament to the public over there. But you cannot imagine.
To lose both children, to lose both parents,
absolutely,
no amount of money is really going to help.
But the police do have an awful lot to answer for, because there was that delay when they were standing outside the classrooms where those children were being killed.
Yes, which is this detail that's coming out now, isn't it?
Absolutely is, and why they weren't just running in there, and it was actually sort of border guards rather than the armed police who had all the, you know, bulletproof vests and everything. It was them that's
and there were parents there pleading with them to go in,
asking why.
And at one point, one of the fathers, I think it was, got so upset about it, the police pinned him to the ground.
Yeah, I mean, there are so many things that have gone wrong here.
Yes.
So many more lives could have been saved had they had just gone in straight away. So I think there's some real difficult questions going to be coming up.
And then you saw Trump reading out the list of children who've been slaughtered by guns at the gun convention. It beggars belief the way the Americans are over guns. Not all Americans, I have to say.
No, but enough to make a difference, and that's the trouble.
And they won't, because it's too much money. They're making fortunes out of it.
I gather, because I've been watching the telly and reading about this so much, because you try and understand, don't you? And apparently, the National Rifle Association is such a strong and incredibly wealthy organisation that they now influence the selection of candidates for Congress and for the Senate and whatever. So the very candidates, the only way they can get enough support to actually get into Congress or get into the Senate or make a difference, they have to be financed by the NRA. So what hope is there for a change?
No hope at all.
Absolutely none. Absolutely none. And I think that American politics needs to take a real hard look at itself with the funding that they get for things like this.
I understand.
You know, it is wrong.
Yeah, I understand maybe a gun at home in America. I don't understand machine guns. I don't understand. It beggars belief.
I know, we can't get our head around it.
It beggars belief.
It's a different mindset.
It really is, yeah. And I mean, the access as well. I mean, this Texas shooter, I think, bought the gun on his 18th birthday. There's so many different elements to this that are just truly shocking. Claire, let's change the tone slightly now, shall we? We're talking about summer getaway. We've been talking about the beach huts, of course. But if you're going abroad, Spain now tops the pile of the cheapest place to go on holiday.
It does, and I think it's no surprise. It is a popular destination, and its prices are reasonable for families. And I think what the Post Office travel guy Nick Bowden has said in this is to watch out for what you spend when you're there. There are other places, so it may be cheap to get to, the accommodation may be cheap, but when you're there you'll spend a lot of money. Whereas if you go somewhere like Turkey, which is where I'm off to in a week's time, so I'm quite happy to see this. You get more value for your money because the Turkish lira is a lot weaker, so your pound will get you more. But I do think it's interesting that we talk about these cheap holidays. Everybody has this love for beach huts, as we've just discussed this morning, but 300,000.
I know, I can't get my head around that.
Ludicrous.
When you can sort of go on a package holiday for sort of a couple of thousand with your family, you
and get the sunshine.
But this is it, you know, and as beautiful as Dorset and Great Yarmouth are, you're not guaranteed the sunshine.
It's interesting about Spain. Spain mainland is cheaper than Mallorca. and the islands and Ibiza, they're a lot more expensive. I worked all over when I was working as a comic for one of the big holiday companies, and I couldn't believe the difference in prices. So there are still phenomenally cheap places to find if you look around.
And at this time of year, you would need a short hop as well, don't you? You want to go to places that can guarantee you sunshine and actually not be too awfully long on the plane.
Absolutely.
Well, this is it, and it will not surprise anybody that Dubai was sort of way down the list as value for money, and I think we could all understand that when you look at the sort of palaces that they have over there. So let's stick to...
there are nearer places to give your support to.
The secret of Dubai is if you go and stay in a hotel, go and get upgraded so you can have that free drink between 6 and 8, get that sorted, and then just pay for one token drink later.
Well, Lynn and Stuart say good morning to you all from a very sunny Malta.
Oh,
Malta, I was there 3 or 4 days ago.
well,
I love it.
Explains the
Malta.
tan.
They say, Lynn and Stuart say the Queen is very popular here with the Maltese people. Of course, it got the George Cross, Malta, for the whole island did for its bravery during the war. So it's a wonderful place to be watching from. Anthony's watching from Stoke-on-Trent. I'm sure that's beautiful too. Really love your channel. Fresh news approach. Love all the shows. Good luck to you all. Oh, and also, this was meant to be a newspaper review, but Andrew and Paula are saying, good morning, watching the programme whilst having our evening meal in Howick in Auckland, New Zealand. The show. Isn't it lovely to be watching?
It's all over the world. It really is lovely, isn't it? And I'm sure they're going to be celebrating the Jubilee this weekend as well. Do let us know what your plans are. gbnews@gbnews.uk. Okay.
Yes, we'll move on. So thank you very much.
Is that it? Well, can I just say best of luck, Liverpool? 2-1. Get in there. Get in there.
No, you can't.
All right.
Big game tonight in Paris.
Thank you so much.
Thanks so much, both of you. Thank you very much.